Here we go.
See, people are wandering in.
Mighty companions. Mighty companions. I'd like you to do the unthinkable.
What's that?
Close your eyes and take a few deep breaths. And let's bring all of our attention and all of our energy into this time, into this place. Those mighty companions online, on Facebook Live, welcome. I'm Earl Purdy, Earl Raj Purdy, and I'm here to do the Course in Miracles. The Course in Miracles. And I'm excited to hear what the message is today from Spirit. It's always good to have my mighty companions in the room and my mighty companions online on the Earl Purdy page. We're going to do the conditions of peace, C-O peace, the COP. We're going to do the COP. The conditions of peace on page 370 in the Foundation for Inner Peace version of A Course in Miracles. Chapter 17, section 8, the conditions of peace on page 370. So what do you want to remember? You need not believe the ideas. You need not accept the ideas. You need not even welcome the ideas. Some of the ideas are going to be hard to believe. And some of the ideas are going to be quite startling. You are not asked to judge the ideas at all. You are not asked to analyze the ideas at all. Their use will give the ideas meaning to you and will show you that the ideas are true, the use of it. So I'm going to read through the first paragraph and then we're going to go through it line by line and see if we can get the message. I'd like you to think of the Course in Miracles in terms of I'm going to hear a message more so than I'm ready to try to analyze it and figure it out. There's a message that Spirit is trying to give us right now. And this talks a lot about the holy instant. So the Course defines the holy instant as a sane instant, a loving instant, a healing instant, a happy instant. Those are all definitions of holy in the Course. And most especially, it says holy means innocent. An innocent instant, because the Course teaches that guilt is the request for punishment. So if feeling guilty is a request for punishment, feeling innocent is obviously a request not to be. So an innocent mind does not attract the drama and pain and conflict that a guilty mind does. So here's the paragraph. The conditions of peace. 370. The holy instant is nothing more than a special case or an extreme example. The holy instant is an extreme example of what every situation is meant to be. The holy instant is an extreme example of what every situation is meant to be. The meaning that the Holy Spirit's purpose has given it is also given to every situation. The holy instant calls forth just the same suspension of faithlessness. The holy instant calls forth just the same suspension of faithlessness, withheld and left unused. Withheld and left unused, that faith might answer to the call of truth. The holy instant is the shining example. The holy instant is the shining example. The holy instant is the shining example, the clear and unequivocal demonstration of the meaning of every situation, every relationship, seen as a whole. The holy instant is a shining example, the clear and unequivocal demonstration of the meaning of every relationship in every situation, seen as a whole. Faith has accepted every aspect of the situation. Faith has accepted every aspect of the situation, and faithlessness has not forced any exclusion on any situation. The holy instant is a situation of perfect peace. The holy instant is a situation of perfect peace, simply because you have let the situation be what the situation is. Let it be what it is. It is what it is. Let it be what it is. It is what it is. So the holy instant is a peaceful instant, is a loving instant. And do you know that it's just a special case of what every situation is meant to be? So when you have a peaceful instant, that's just an extreme example of what every situation and every relationship is meant to be. Every situation is meant to be a healing situation, a peaceful situation, a loving situation, and I like the word a sane situation, right? The meaning that the Holy Spirit's purpose has given it is also given to every situation. The Holy Spirit is your loving right mind, the part of you that has correct perception, the divine part of you, the God part of you, the spiritual part of you. The Course defines the Holy Spirit as your inner guide, your divine guide. And so that's the purpose given to every situation. What is the purpose given to every situation? That it should be a holy instant, a healing instant, a loving instant, a sane instant. So what does it take to have a holy instant, a healing instant, a sane instant, a happy instant, a loving instant? Now notice as I go through this paragraph, it anticipates everything that we might ask ourselves. And when you read the Course, it flows really beautifully in terms of how the Course is being explained from one simple concept to the other. Where people tend to make an error with the Course is they read a sentence and they stop, and then they try to fit it into their way of thinking. Or they try to figure it out. We're so wise that we believe that we have to be the ones that say what its meaning, rather than hearing the meaning it's giving us. Like right now, it says, what is the holy instant? It's what every situation is meant to be. What is every situation meant to be? A sane, loving situation. The Holy Spirit, the meaning given the Holy Spirit's purpose. The Holy Spirit's purpose is what? For us to have sanity, love, and peace. It's the same purpose. And it says, what does it call for? If you're going to have a healing instant, if you're going to have a peaceful instant, it says in the next sentence 3, it calls forth just the same what? Suspension of faithlessness. You got to suspend your faithlessness. What does that mean? You got to withhold your faithlessness and have it left unused. Don't use your faithlessness. That's how you suspend faith. And then it says, well, what is faithlessness? Faithlessness is fear. Faithlessness, the Court says faithlessness is seeing each other as bodies. I thought that was an interesting definition of faithlessness. That I'm not being faithful to you if I see you just as a limited being. That's not believing in you, right? And then the Court says, why do you want to leave the faithlessness unused? So that faith might answer. So if I want love to answer, I can't use the fear. If I want faith to answer, I must not use my faithlessness. Things that happen regardless of what you believe are the easiest things to have faith in. For instance, and I always like to use the example of gravity. You don't have to believe in it at this level for it to work. So to have faith in what is the easiest kind of faith you can have. Because even if you lied when you said you have the faith, you're still going to get that result. Because that result's going to happen whether you believe in it or not. Do you hear what I'm saying? So it's only the stuff that's not real that you have to be really worried whether or not your faith is going to affect it. Because if it's real, your faith or faithlessness doesn't change it. So the Course is saying, but why do I want to use my faith, leave my faithlessness unused? So that faith might answer to the call of truth. So then you go, okay, what does all that mean? Then you keep reading. That's why if you ever want to master the Course in Miracles, you're going to have to read it. I know. I just had to kind of sneak that in. Okay, okay. You know, to really get the the thing that's frustrating, that I make myself feel frustrated about after all the years of studying the Course, is to see people unhappy about stuff that could be healed so rapidly it would make their head spin if they would actually take the time to study the material and use it. It's so funny watching so many unhappy people who just settle into the unhappiness, but not be willing to do the thing that would get them out of it, when the way to get out of it is right there. Because what studying the Course does, it isn't your brilliance that's going to make the difference and how good you are at discerning what is said. The Course is saying the very act of focusing in on it is a symbolic gesture that shows your willingness to be healed. And that the Holy Spirit, the higher power, does the healing, not you. So my doing this class and my reading this is not how well I understand this that's going to have anything to do with the success of this. The fact that I have the little bit of willingness to focus in on this is what I've seen produce the miracles in my life. But as a teacher for many, many years, it's the thing that I see people least willing to do. They're actually the least willing to give it any form of attention or study. It's like, I'm going to hear about it and it's going to work. So I'm not condemning, I'm not judging. I'm just saying, if you're suffering, if you have pain, if you have conflict, if there are situations you've been trying to get cleared up in your life for years, I promise you that the study of A Course in Miracles, sincerely, you will see miracles in those areas. And you'll see miracles happen that there's no logical explanation in your mind as to why that situation turned out the way that it did. And I could name situation after situation after situation in my life that's happened since I've been studying the Course, and I've worked with literally thousands of Course in Miracles students in 4 decades. So I get a chance to watch the ones that it seems to work and the ones that it seems like it doesn't. Almost like a research project. The ones that it always works are the ones who study. The ones who are frustrated are the ones who analyze or won't take any time. And I'm not talking about you got to read 9 pages a day. You could go, this section that I'm covering is 1 page. You could go, I'm going to read 1 subtitle today. And I'm going to do a workbook lesson, which the first ones are 1 minute a day, which I've heard people say they didn't have time, which is the biggest BS I've ever heard. I haven't had time to, nobody's that busy. There's nobody on the face of the earth that doesn't have 2 minutes. Okay? I'm sorry. That ain't gonna fly. You don't have time. No, the Course says the reason why people don't do it is because they don't think they're worth the consistent effort. I'm not worth the effort it would take for me to have a happy life. That's why I'm not doing it. Not because it's hard. So the Course in Miracles, and I'm saying this because I'm telling you, I will repeat this one more time. I do not care what is going wrong in your life that you think you wish were different. If you sincerely study A Course in Miracles and do the simple things that it says, these situations will change. Amen. For the better. Amen. Or you will achieve a state of consciousness that you so cooled out it don't even matter. Nothing can touch your peace. Mm-hmm. Now that's worthwhile to you for real. And that includes finding the one, having the kind of job or career. What I found out was that statement in the Bible, I'm sure you've heard it of, seek ye first the kingdom of heaven and everything else will be added. That's the Course in Miracles. Seek the truth and all the other stuff you're driving yourself crazy to try to achieve, that will be just thrown in. Yeah. Spirit knows you need money at this level in order to survive. It says that in the book. It says you will be given what you need to stay. It's right there in the book when you read it. What? You will be given what you need to stay.
Thank God.
Okay? All you have to do is go, what I want is a correct perception. That's forgiveness. It says if you go for forgiveness, everything else will be given. Then the people have a tendency to go immediately to, oh, that means I got to let somebody off the hook that I have a grievance toward. And that is not the Course in Miracles definition of forgiveness. That's the ego world's definition of forgiveness. The Course in Miracles, when it says forgiveness, is saying, I want you to learn how to see things accurately. If you take the time to learn how to see things accurately, I'll give you what you need to stay because you were born to be the light of the world. You were born to be a living representative of what the love of the Creator can do for you as a shining example to everyone around you of what happens when you live your life from the perspective of truth. So if I'm going to witness for God, then I have to be a living demonstration of the love and the joy that's represented by that. And that's only going to happen if my Creator helps me. So stop making it hard, Earl, and stop making it hard, y'all. I'm telling you, we are not complex to an infinite intelligence. I'm serious. It's hilarious. Just the other night in my hardcore course class, I was doing a section called The State of Grace. You really need to check it out on my page. One of the things it says was drive the ego mind, the separated mind, crazy. The Course in Miracles definition of the ego is a mind that thinks it's completely on its own. I love that definition. When it says the ego, it's talking about us. It's talking about we think we're on our own, having to figure it all out. He says that is the ego mind, right? And so it said, when you're in a state of grace, which means you are allowing yourself to follow the instructions and the guidance that you're receiving, everything should be easy. No struggle. You're functioning fine. That was just point blank. And then it went further to go, and guess what? You can't create the environment you will be happy in. What? You will never be able to make yourself happy by creating the environment you will be happy in, because, he says, you didn't make yourself. I like to use the analogy, the same creative force that created the cow simultaneously created the grass that sustains the cow. It wasn't like, here's the cow, then the cow is going, I got to come up with a way to survive. I got to come up with the grass. And there's plenty of grass in Colorado. Already here. Okay? So, and then I went, wow, that makes sense. He says, yeah. He says, you don't even know that your creator is watching over you and will give you and has given you everything. Then my ego mind goes, well, why don't I know it? He says, well, that's very simple too. If you're denying your creator, then how can you become aware of all the blessings that you're receiving? If you're denying that I'm Earl, then how are you going to receive any blessings that Earl would give you? And that's all the Course is saying. The denial of the denial of the fact that you were created by a creator and that you didn't create yourself, he says, that's the only problem we have. The only one. Something loves us and would love for us to have perfect happiness. But we have to be educated to the point we will allow ourselves to be helped. That's how insane we are. I got to teach you how to let me give you everything I want to give. It's like me wanting to give everybody here a car, and then you all are refusing it. And so first I got to take you out to a seminar to make you open to receiving the car. Because you're all suspicious. Why you want to give me a car? What do you want? You know what I'm saying? So our biggest block is the lack of faith. Just like what it was saying, right? So anyway, I went on my soapbox for a minute because I talked to so many people and I've seen so many miracles. And I'm telling you, you're making it hard just by not giving it attention and study. It's okay for you not to know everything. It's okay for you not to have to figure it all out and be the brilliant one. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. So it says, the holy instant is a shining example, the clear and unequivocal demonstration of the meaning of every situation and every relationship seen as a whole. What does that mean? Every situation and every relationship should be an opportunity to have a sane instant, a loving instant, a real instant, a happy instant. That's why we're together. That's the meaning of every situation you will go through for the rest of the day, the rest of the week, and the rest of the year. That's another opportunity for you to have peace, which the Course defines as total fulfillment. So get rid of the idea of peace as dull, boring, contemplating your neighbor on the mountaintop in India. I had a totally healing, peaceful, holy experience last night, dancing my butt off and watching my friends dance and listening to music and joining with all my brothers and sisters. That was as much a peaceful healing meditation as thinking that you have to be quiet and sit in a corner and don't say anything. So don't buy into other people's idea of what a spiritual moment looks like. A spiritual moment isn't always sitting still, not moving. You can have moving meditations. That's what sex is. Okay. It's a moving meditation. That's what dancing is. It's a moving meditation. That's what a walk is. It's a moving meditation. I'm glad to see you all here today, because these kind of beautiful days can be a teacher's nightmare. So I want you to know that it's funny. When it's the worst weather, there's ice on the street and snow, and I cancel my classes, that's when I get a call from people that I haven't seen in forever, who are here to come to a class. Why? Because there wasn't nothing else for them to do. Yeah, it's so funny. It's like, I ain't seen you in 3 years. But the iciest, snowiest day, well, because you had cabin fever, and the Holy Spirit will use that for your good and everybody else's good. So it's not, I'm not criticizing, but it's just funny. When when you teach a long time, you know what's one of the main things that you learn is that the biggest illusion of all, do you know what it is? That we're different. We think we're so different, and it's always the same problems. It's always the same issues with everybody. 99% of the time. It's money, or it's about a relationship, or it's about I hate my job and career, or it's about health. And maybe every blue moon it'll be about spiritual development. That my real problem is I really want to be closer to God and I don't feel like I am. The number one thing is I don't like what I'm doing every day for a living and money. Those are the two biggies. Because people are erroneously convinced that those things are the answer. Everybody believes that's the answer. If I had more money, that would be the answer. Money is great. It's an energy that can be used to represent symbolically personal freedom at a beautiful level. I'm not one of these teachers that's anti you having the best house in the world, or car, any physical pleasure, any of that. It's all neutral. God bless you. Have at it. Okay? I'm not a person that's talking about you should make a $300,000 a year. I'm just saying if you think $300,000 a year is going to make you happy, you're in wrong-mindedness. That's all I'm saying. It will not make you happy. You are happy. You may attract $300,000 and you're happy with the $300,000. But that did not come from the $300,000. That came from you being a happy person in that really fine house. So whenever I'm listening to people and I hear them talking as if the thing that they're seeking is really going to be the thing that's going to make them happy, I don't tell them that's not going to work. They'll find that out. Because they'll think you put a negative energy on what they're trying to do instead of you just told them the truth and saving them a lot of needless effort. But a holy instant is an instant that he says faith has accepted every aspect of the situation. So I'm accepting that this relationship that I have with all of you, the purpose of that relationship is peace and sanity. Not sanity. That's the next level. I'm going to do a sanity workshop. After we do the sanity workshop, we're going to do sanity. Okay. A holy relationship is a sanity relationship. So the Course says faith has accepted every situation, or every aspect of it, and faithlessness, my not having any belief in you and the peace in you, has not forced any exclusion. Because when I don't have faith in the love in you, the truth in you, the spirit in you, I'm going to exclude you. Right. So faithlessness excludes. Faith includes. So if I have a loving relationship and it's really a loving relationship and it's based on faith, our love is inclusive, not exclusive. It's inclusive. Every conscious being wants inclusive relationships. Asleep beings want exclusive relationships, and we can learn the truth through either one of them. But one of them's going to be easier than the other. And the one based on love is going to always be easier than the one that's based on exclusion and fear. You have to be in a fearful relationship if you feel like you must be the jailer to anyone. If I feel like my job is to control what you do and how you do it and where you do it and who you do, I am afraid. I am faithless. I'm not believing in the love and the connection and the peace between us. I'm faithless. That's why I got a private investigator following you. That's not because I love you that I'm watching you and I'm going through your cell phone to see who you leaving a text message for. That's not love. That's obviously fear. Obviously fear. But people miss that. You know. So the Course says it's a situation of perfect peace. Why? Simply because you let it be what it is. A situation that could be perfect peace. Why? Because I'm the one that's giving myself all the feelings that I'm having about this. So therefore I can have perfect peace in this situation because I don't look for my peace to come from you. I look for my peace to come from my faithfulness, my ability to focus on the truth, to know that I am the one that determines how I feel. So that's the first paragraph of A Course in Miracles. Before we go to the next one, I'm going to throw it open for about 5 minutes for any questions or comments about, hopefully about what we're talking about. Okay.
Clarify this so that I'm on the right page. According to the Course in Miracles, basically what it's about is unblocking the blocks that we have in place that keep us from receiving love. And a holy instant, and to me, is that aha moment. In other words, I unblock the situation to receive the love or to receive the answer or to see the miracle that's coming through me. And it's like, oh my gosh, it's like, aha, that's it. Because I'm open to receiving whatever God wants to tell me, so therefore it is a holy instant.
So would you say that that aha is an instant of perfect peace?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I always remember when I'm sharing, I'm only sharing one way to look at it. I'm never sharing the only way to look at anything I'm saying. That's really important. And truth is like a many-faceted diamond. Depending on what angle you're looking at my fist, you're seeing something different, but it's still my fist. That's the truth. So I'm looking at it from this direction. Y'all looking at it from that direction. The temptation would be when I share my perspective, and I'm not saying you did that, but the temptation would be when I share my perspective that you're going to share yours, but mine has to be wrong. And yours has to be right. And that's the game that people play with each other. Other than going, each one of us can give each other a very beautiful, helpful perspective of it. So you don't have to be wrong for me to be right. And I don't have to say I'm wrong just because you have another point of view. I could go, you are giving me an additional perspective that could be helpful. So in my classes, I really would invite you to let go of the right, wrong perception of what we say to each other. You don't have to be wrong for me to be right, and I don't have to be wrong for you to be right. Let that go so that you can really wake up to the next level of consciousness. It's a big aha to do that.
Because if we do, if we have to always be right, we're never open.
And if we have to be right and we're miserable, we're stuck.
Yeah.
If I'm miserable and I'm right, there's no way out. So I want to be wrong when I'm miserable. That's the first thing I said to myself. I hope I'm wrong. I feel like crap. I don't want to be right. I feel lonely. I want to be right about that. I see myself as being lacking. And so I don't want to be right about that. I want to be wrong about that, which I am. So that makes it even easier because I am wrong. So that'll make it work better.
One of the things I love about A Course in Miracles is how many tools it gives us along the way. And this paragraph, as it truncates in my mind, is that the holy instant is a moment of perfect peace when I just allow that moment to be what it is. And I think that's so important for us to recognize that the holy instant is the instant I allow to be exactly what it is.
That's right.
It's not the happy instant because everything's going right. I can have a holy instant in the middle of a car accident.
Right.
Right. I'm just allowing it to be exactly what it is.
I had a holy instant in the middle of a car accident.
Right.
Yeah. Thank you. Yes.
I just appreciate that all the definitions that it gives in here to let me know there can be no exclusion. So a lot of times, I might look at a situation and experience a lot of peace about a lot of it, but then there might be one aspect I exclude. So whether it's like, okay, well, it could be more, and that's where I really notice the difference between like ego fantasy versus like allowing perfect peace. And so to allow perfect peace is to exclude nothing, meaning I'm not comparing it to figments of my imagination that say I don't have enough. And that's where my ego really likes to come in, is like, oh my gosh, this is wonderful. Now what about? And it's like, and then that excludes me from really allowing the perfect peace of that situation in. So I can even do that about really great situations and be like, oh, I'm loving the situation. But then my ego always wants to fantasize or worry about loss, and so that's why I really like how specific it is and no exclusions, which also means no additions, I would say as well, like no fantasizing about it being anything else.
Thank you. The Course was one of the first books that I read that said the fantasies was something you didn't want. And that was a big adjustment for me, especially after doing a lot of metaphysical study when it was all about my fantasies and how I can get mine. Because he says, well, fantasies is trying to satisfy yourself according to false needs. needs that you're making up that you don't really have. And wouldn't you rather have the reality of love than imagining love? Mm-hmm. Wouldn't you rather have the reality of abundance rather than imagining abundance? So it's not the fantasy you want, it's the reality you want. And it says reality is better than fantasy. And that's different from what we've been taught. That sometimes that our reality is so unsatisfying that it's in my fantasies that I have my greatest pleasure. That's the way the average person does it. So all their happiness is in their fantasies because they hate their lives as they perceive them. And the Course in Miracles says just the opposite. No, it's reality that's loving, that's awesome, not your fantasies. He says that's how you know this isn't reality. He said that's how you know what we are experiencing isn't reality, because it's not an unconditional, constant, unending, eternal, invulnerable love. Because that's what reality is. Now I say, oh, thank you. I need to learn the difference between what's true and what's not. Wow, it's too simple.
I just want to say I appreciate this this passage here where it talks about faith versus faithlessness. Mm-hmm. Because, man, it's been a weekend of faithlessness for me, frankly.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
And my ego wanted to stay in that place. And it was thinking of excuses or reasons for not coming here today. And then somehow I just went with Spirit's guidance was a little bit stronger, you know, and I decided to get myself here. So I'm already feeling a shift inside toward faith again. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So I'm grateful for that. Thank you.
Well, thank you for valuing it. The Course says the attraction of, if you want to get past an obstacle, the attraction of the thing beyond the obstacle will pull you past the obstacle. And I always think about that when I think about what I want, or when I hear somebody else say what they want, and they're talking about the blocks, and I go, well, actually your desire for the goal should pull you past that obstacle. So what you really want to get clear about is, what do I want? Rather than spending all your time trying to focus on why this isn't happening, you need to get clear about what you want to happen.
That's really interesting for me that you say that about the goal, because it's clear to me that I haven't been clear about my goals in various aspects of my life, mm-hmm. and particularly my spiritual goals. So one of my things to do that I'm guided to do is to get clear about my goals and put them down on paper. And put them in front of me, keep them in front of me, and remind myself when I start to feel myself getting off track, pulled away. You know.
Which reminds me, I want to let you know that next Sunday, my Anna Kajawa is going to be doing the class, because I'll be in England.
Cool.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I'll be in England speaking. And so she's incredible, just like CJ has been incredible. We're blessed with people who share here that's really cool. So if you haven't had a chance to check Anna out, this would be a good time. She's amazing. Send all the good flying angels with me, because I'll be having tea with the Queen. She can't hardly wait. She told me she wanted me to teach her how to twerk. So I'm going to have a twerk session with the Queen, and me and Megan go hang for a minute. You know, there's another Megan over there. There's a Megan over here. Here, Megan there. Megan everywhere. Megan. Well, anyway, that's a whole other thing. Okay. Somebody had a hand up before I move on? Yes, my brother.
Hey, while you were talking earlier, this childhood, Bible scripture just kept shouting through me, meaningless, meaningless, meaningless. Everything is vanity, it's chasing after the wind. All these things that you said are the same thing. The money, the health, whatever there is chasing outside of herself is the vanity, the chasing. There's nothing new under the sun.
That's good to hear. That's good to hear. I will be back the following Sunday, so next Sunday is the only Sunday that I won't be here. I'll be here, but my body won't. I'm everywhere.
We love Anna.
Yes. Well, that settles that. All right, next paragraph. I always like to use a little music to shake it up. This simple courtesy is all the Holy Spirit asks of you, is this simple courtesy. Let truth be what the truth is. Let the truth be what the truth is. Do not intrude upon the truth. Do not attack the truth. Do not interrupt the truth's coming. What? Let truth encompass every situation. Let truth encompass every situation. Let the truth encompass every situation and bring you peace. Let the truth encompass any situation, every situation, and bring you peace. Not even faith is asked of you. What? Not even faith is ultimately asked of you. For truth asks nothing. Truth asks nothing. Love asks nothing. Truth asks nothing. Let truth enter. Let truth enter. And truth will call forth and secure for you the faith you need for peace. Let truth secure for you the faith you need for peace. But rise you not against truth, for against your opposition truth cannot come. Rise not against truth, for against your opposition it cannot come. Wow. That paragraph right there was off the chain to me. So I love it. There's a simple courtesy that love asks of you. There's a simple courtesy that the divine asks of you. There's a simple courtesy that your higher power asks of you. Let the truth be what it is. This is the truth. Let it be what it is. What does that mean? Don't intrude upon it. Don't attack it. It's like, sometimes when I'm sharing the truth, it's like the ego in all of us wants to pounce on it and find every possible way that it can't work or that it's not valid or where I have resistance. Maybe it's the way it's written. Maybe it's the terminology. Maybe it's the, but what I'm doing is I am attacking it. I'm trying to interrupt its coming. He says, if you would let the truth encompass every situation, the truth will, I love this, bring you peace. Check that out. The truth will bring you total fulfillment. And what else did it tell you? It says, not even faith is asked of you. Ultimately, I'm not even asking you to have faith. What I'm telling you is that truth asks nothing. And the Course defines truth as love, it's all the same thing. So that's another thought that's very different from how we've been programmed in the world. I used to ask the most of the people I thought I loved. Those were the ones I put the most responsibility and agendas and scripts on, was the people that I said I loved. Those are the ones I'm asking for everything. I'm asking you to be here on time. I'm asking you to take me out. I'm asking you not to do this. I'm asking you to do that. He says, love or truth, ask nothing. It says, let it enter. Let the truth, like in other words, if I let this truth enter, he's saying to me that this truth will secure for me the faith I need for peace. Why? Because if I study this and begin to change my mind through doing the workbook, then this does secure for me the faith I need for peace. Because when I learn this, it has actually given me more faith. The truth has secured for me more faith that I need for what? Peace. In order to have peace, I have to have faith. So that means that no matter what's happening, I have to trust that my Creator is in charge. Love is in charge. That I need faith for peace. I need faith for peace. But the truth will bring me the faith. So what do I need to do? Focus on the truth. So how can I say I'm focused on the truth and I don't remember it? Because learning involves what? Memory. Not analyzation. It takes memory. I need to remember that I need to let the truth be what it is, that I need to not intrude on it, not attack it, not interrupt it. I need to let it encompass every situation and bring me peace. I need to remember not even faith is asking me, because the truth doesn't ask for anything. I just need to let it enter, and it will call forth and secure for me all the faith and peace that I need. And then it says, how do I do that? Don't rise against it. Don't spend all your time fighting it, opposing it, because all you're doing is opposing the idea that God's will for you is perfect happiness. You're only opposing the idea that you deserve to be completely peaceful, joyful, connected, and happy. If you oppose this material, you're just opposing the idea of your own love. Mm-hmm. That's all you're opposing. This is saying y'all deserve to be loved no matter what you think or whatever you believe. Something loves you beyond what you can even imagine. The reason why you don't know it does is because you have beliefs that interfere with you, or recognizing that. You need to learn how to get rid of those beliefs and learn how to see things differently, so you know you're already supported and protected, because this is saying you deserve to be supported and loved no matter what. So to oppose this is to oppose your own happiness. How smart is that? So when we're sitting up fighting with this, and it's saying you're innocent, you don't deserve to be punished, you deserve to be helped, you deserve to be healed, you deserve the best of everything, and you're going, like you said, I thought about not coming. What? Not coming to something that's going to tell you that you're a treasure. But don't we do it? There's a part of us that act like this is the chore. This is what I need a medal for being willing to come. Why? Because somebody's going to tell me I'm sinless, I'm guiltless, and I'm loved eternally. Think about that. That's deep. That you deserve to be included in the love no matter what. Oh, I got to make myself come listen to this. This is the toughest thing I've ever studied. But what did it say? Don't rise against it. Because what? Against your opposition, it cannot come. What does that mean? The love will never force itself on you. Joy, spirit, love, and healing will never. So a person that loves you will never force themselves upon you. But if you oppose them, they won't come. You know, if it's somebody I want to get to know and I extend to them and they show absolutely no interest in me, I will not continue to come. Against opposition, I will not come. So those old days where Earl would try to seduce someone into or convince someone to receive me and my love, those days are long gone. Because against your opposition, love, what? Can't come. Cannot come. There's a line in the chorus that says love is irresistible. That if you were really in the presence of love, you could not resist it. So if you're wondering if you love somebody and you can resist them, you don't. You can't resist somebody you truly love. You can only resist somebody you're trying to decide whether or not they're going to be special to you. You can resist specialness. If I'm trying to decide whether or not I'm going to be your friend, then yeah, I can do that. But if you were expressing love to me and I was truly expressing love to you, we would be irresistible to each other, which means we would not be resisting each other. We would be open and receptive to each other.
Right.
United.
We would be united.
Mm-hmm.
I love how this book taught me the difference between love and specialness, or love and fear. To me, that's the greatest gift that the Course in Miracles has given me, because it saved me so much pain. I can realize so rapidly whether somebody loves me or not, or even really wants to. So it's like if you're immediately suspicious of me and you holding back and you're doubting and all of that, then I know, oh, do I really want to be with somebody that's scared? That's not attractive to me. Because if they could see, they'd know I was trustworthy. that my heart is in the right place, that I'm not trying to hurt them, that I wouldn't want to. So somebody that's suspicious of me and thinking I'm not trustworthy, to me they're revealing they aren't. Because they're the one full of all the suspicion and fear. So everything that they're probably thinking I'm going to do, they're going to do first. In relationships, I could always tell if a partner was going to leave me because they started talking a lot about being afraid I was going to leave them. Then I knew immediately, I just need to go ahead and get ready for this one. They're on the way out. They're on the quiet because they're the one that's thinking about that. I didn't bring it up. So they're the one that's most likely going to leave. And it would be that every single time. But remember, projection makes perception. Projection makes perception. You are seeing your own thoughts. That's all you ever see is your thoughts. Nobody else's, yours. So now, questions or comments about that paragraph?
This paragraph really struck home on line. I mean, dialogue on here is rampant. So one of the passages in Course in Miracles is that love waits on welcome.
Yeah,
so,
not on time.
Not on time. So
right.
Noel is playing on that, and so he says, "Truth, please enter the door and let me entertain you, baby." So
that's the moment. Pass that around for me.
Right? And unless says that truth never throws up conditions I must meet to find it.
Mm.
You know, truth isn't putting obstacles. We don't have to chase it. And Diana's loving the fact that it only takes a simple courtesy of allowance for love to show up.
Wow. Please, if you haven't signed the contact list, please print and sign it. People tell you I don't overdo it. But there's a lot of new things that are coming up that I'm going to be doing that's going to be very helpful. If you want to make sure you know about them, then, plus I want to see who's coming now. Then please sign the contact list. I really appreciate that. Anybody else? I work my way around. Okay.
I just wanted to say that originally when you used the word irresistible, it brought up that like my ego used to like really use that very like fear-based way, like that. It was the people I was the most afraid of that I used to feel like that were irresistible to me. And so like there is that piece of myself that was like so attracted to guilt that I have to like really evaluate how I feel, because like for me irresistible is still freedom, whereas in the past irresistible was containment, and like irresistible was let's spend all of this time together, or let's and like today it's like irresistible is like I just like get to experience like love and peace and companionship and total connection within the presence, but it isn't chasing. And in the past, irresistible used to be chasing or like trying to make something, and whereas to really just have love is to allow. And to allow even means like where I'm led, and allow even means like what's the day God would give me and who's in it.
That's right. That's right. And to add to what you're saying, how could I tell right off the bat if I had the wrong perception of irresistible? The idea I would have fear around it. Yeah. The minute you hear anything and immediately you have fear around it, it's good for you to remind yourself it's probably your interpretation of this word that needs to be corrected. So sometimes people will read the Course and they'll be absolutely sure they're interpreting it correctly, but they feel a ton of resistance and anger and fear about what they're reading. And I would always tell them, how can you tell if you're interpreting the Course correctly as you read it? How much peace you feel about what you're reading. Because the purpose of the book is peace. So it's not going to say the purpose of the book is peace, so I'm going to scare the hell out of you all the way from the beginning to the end. Right? So common sense ought to say, if I'm reading this and all I'm feeling is resistance, I'm really responding to my own interpretations of what I'm reading. This is not what this book is saying. Just like what you were just saying. My old idea of irresistible versus my true idea of irresistible. Or if the Course says, love is loving everybody, and then immediately people get, oh Lord, because what I found is real common that they go to sex first. That's the first place they head. If you're gonna love everybody, you're gonna have sex with everybody. If you want to have sex with everybody, everybody don't want to have sex with you no way. So it's not even an option, really. And you never catch up. I tried in the 90s, so it doesn't work. I did research on that. It can't happen. So remember, when you listen to the truth, not just the Course in Miracles, but when you're studying any wisdom text, and all you feel is fear or resistance, it's you that's wrong. It's not the material necessarily. It might be the way, the meaning you're giving to it is the problem. Right? So if I say love and that frightens you, it's your definition of love that's frightening you. That's what's frightening you. If I say love is inclusive and that makes you feel resistance, then you are judging what that means incorrectly. Because true love doesn't have anything to do with the body anyway. The body can be one way that you allow love to come through you, but you can have love without the body. Sometimes the people that you feel the most love for are the people that you have not done anything with their bodies with. That's probably why you have so much love for them. Because it's usually something you've done that involves the body that's the seat of all your guilt and fear anyway. Think about it. The Course says that point blank. It's always something the body seems to offer or to give that you're making yourself feel guilty about. And I have to be honest, that's what is, you ate a piece of cake and how you thought it was going to affect your body. The guilt is around the body and something that the body does, always. Something that happened with the body. I took somebody else's body out. I feel guilty about that. You know, somebody touched my body. I feel guilty. It's all about the body here. It's all about the body. It's all about. That's why when you the Course says when you start to ignore a person's body to relate to them, he says it's like they feel their temple begin to quake. You know, it's like I've had experiences in my life in relationships with women where they would always, which is like standard procedure. You know, I don't want you to want me for my body. Okay, that's pretty much standard procedure. What you go here, right? Then you actually don't focus on the body and watch them get totally uncomfortable. What's wrong with me? They want you to want them just so they can turn you down. Some of them, right? Because when people don't focus on our bodies, sometimes they can make us feel like, what's wrong with me? Even though I just said, I don't want you to focus on my body. It's been 6 months, you haven't focused on my body. What's wrong with me? You know, so the Course is saying that is not what love is. But it can be a means of allowing love to flow through you. So again, I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with using the body as a way to allow love to come through, but you're definitely in error according to Course in Miracles if you think the body is necessary for you to love someone. That's good news, especially when your body begins to change. You know, I'm glad that there's somebody to be able to see me beyond my body. I'm closer to that time than ever before.
To be beyond the body?
Yeah, that needs a lot of beyond the body folk. Yeah, I need somebody to love him. But somebody you truly love looks beautiful to you. That's the other thing about it, though. If I love you, you are beautiful to me. No matter what your body looks like. That's how you know when you love somebody. If you love them only because of the way they look, that's just specialness. If they're so beautiful to you because of who they are that you haven't even noticed their body, that's love. I remember dating a young lady in high school that I just loved. I just thought she was just awesome. Then I came into my bedroom one day and my sister had took her picture and put it face down on top of the dresser. And she said, I said, what'd you do that for? She said, she's ugly. And I was like, what are you talking about? She was like gorgeous to me. Why? Because of how I felt. Love goes beyond the body. If I'm going to stop loving you because of the way your body looks, it's not love. That's it. I'm not bad. I'm not sinful. I'm not guilty. Let it be what it is. Let you be who you really are. That spiritual being, that unlimited consciousness, that divine extension of God that you are. I want to let you be that. Let it be what it is. Don't rise against it because against your opposition, it can't come. So if you fight your abundance, you fight the truth, you fight the love, he says, well, it just won't come. So stop spending all your time opposing the truth in the name of, I'm trying to establish the credibility of what's being said. And when I understand this, then maybe, Earl, I will practice what the Course said. The Course doesn't care. And I don't care, because you're free. So if you choose not to do it, it just comes to you another way. That's the beauty of God. That's the brilliance of God, is that if you're not interested in it this way, it's going to come to you in another way. But I'm a Course teacher, so I'm especially attuned to those who want to use the Course. But I'm not at any level saying the Course is the only way. It's not the only way. It just worked for me and many other people. And you'll know if you're a true Course student by one thing. And it's not saying you can't check it out whether you're a true Course student or not and benefit. But the way you will absolutely know is you will give it attention and study in spite of your resistance. In spite of your resistance, you'll still keep studying it. Some of you know what I'm talking about. You want to pick it up and want to throw it out the window, and then before you know it, you're right back sitting down again looking at it. Because that's your path. You can't get rid of it. And don't confuse the road sign with the destination. This is a road sign. This isn't the destination. Biggie. So, would you acknowledge yourself for hearing this much today, Holy Spirit? Give it up to you. I'm on your side. I'm on your side. I'm on your side. Those of you online, you're so cute, especially you sitting up there with your robe on. Close your robe up. Okay. All right.
You didn't really mean that, did you?
No, I didn't really mean that at all. Let it be as it is. All right. We're going to do the love offering, y'all. Thank you for sharing with me and with Unity Temple. Those of you online, if you'd like to make a financial expression of appreciation, I would surely appreciate that. And you go to my website, earlpurdy.com, P-U-R-D-Y, earlpurdy.com. I'm also available for one-on-one sessions called Clarity Sessions, where I really show you how to get past a lot of the blocks or any of the blocks that you have to your happiness right now. Don't delay your peace another day, because the Course teaches that your problems have already been solved.
And then this week while you're traveling, you're not going to be doing your lives, correct?
No. No, not this week. And I also use my knowledge of astrology and numerology with my sessions for those who are open to it. It works. It's helpful. You were born with a reason. There was a reason why you're here. Your astrological chart is another way Spirit reveals that to you. You have talents, you have abilities, you have opportunities that are just waiting for you if you open your mind a minute and say, I'm willing to be shown. The Course in Miracles says the ego is the part of us that wants to be autonomous and self-sufficient and believes, again, that it's on its own. So what happens is when people have a lot of crises, and it seems like it's one crisis after another, that crisis has only one purpose, ultimately, is to get them to surrender and go, there must be a better way, and I'm going to look for a better way, and I'm going to connect with something greater than myself. The answer is never trying to handle the individual crisis from the perspective that you are smart enough to handle the crisis on your own, because the only thing that's going to happen is it's going to change form. And it'll go from finances to relationship to health to career. It'll just change form until you actually get rid of the source of the problem. You all know what I'm talking about. As soon as you get one thing handled, then here comes something else. We've all had that experience. The Course says it's because you haven't dealt with the real cause of the problem. So it just changes form. Anybody familiar with that? Oh, yeah. Any of y'all have had one problem and then another one after that one? And okay, that's why. Okay, so I'm ready for a better way. Any of you have a better way you ready for? Yeah. All right. Let's one thing that you'd like to remember, because the memory is the key. So who can share one thing they'd like to, just one idea they'd like to focus on this week?
Truth is always there when I'm not resisting it.
Truth is always there when I'm not resisting it. Anybody else?
All I need to have is that little willingness to allow the truth in.
I like that too. That all I need is just a little How many of y'all have a little bit of willingness? Okay, we can do a little bit, can't we? All right, so it would be so a little bit is our path.
Love and truth ask nothing.
Love and truth ask nothing. Love isn't asking, and it certainly isn't demanding.
We who could give the love of God to everything we see, touch, and remember are literally denying heaven to ourselves.
Exactly. That's right. Exactly. I love it when you talk dirty, buddy. That is so true. I love that. We're literally denying God and happiness and truth to ourselves. That turns me on, though. I'm so glad my happiness don't depend on what you all do. I am so happy that my being able to practice this doesn't have anything to do with whether or not you're willing, because then I won't have any grievances against you. I won't be mad at you about anything. But I'm going to be mad at you if I'm looking for you to be a certain way for me to be happy. So be glad that I'm saying I'm glad that my happiness doesn't depend on what you do or not do. That means I'm going to be a cool person with you. Anybody else? Yeah, go ahead, Darlene.
Love is the way I walk in gratitude.
Love is the way I walk in gratitude.
Peace is a function of my ability to focus on the truth.
Peace is what?
A function of my ability to focus on the truth.
That's right. That's right. Are you willing to do the easy path? Anybody here, are they willing to do the easy way? Okay. Do you think you're worth consistent effort?
Yes.
Okay. Every time you come here, every time you study, that's symbolic. Okay. Finish this out in a minute. So what is the condition for peace? The condition for peace is to recognize, first of all, that you are going to walk out of here and you're going to say the purpose of every situation and circumstance that I am going into for the rest of this day and the rest of this week, the purpose is peace, which is complete fulfillment, which is healing. And I'm going to let these situations be a situation of peace. And so to me, the main thing that was so powerful was when the Course in Miracles said today, this is the simple courtesy that the Holy Spirit is asking of you. This is the only thing that love is asking of you. This is what love is asking of you. Love is the Holy Spirit. Love is the Holy Spirit. So what is love asking of you? What is it asking of you? Let love or truth be what it is. Don't intrude on love. Do not attack love and truth. Do not interrupt love and truth's coming. So what does that mean? Not even faith is being asked of you. What? Not even faith is being asked of you. Truth asks nothing. Love asks nothing. Just let love enter. I let love enter. I let love enter. I let truth enter. I let truth enter. Let truth enter. Let truth enter. And truth will call forth and secure for you the faith you need. Let truth bring you the faith you need for peace. But what was the main message? The main message was, rise you not against it. Rise you not against the love, against the truth. For against your opposition it cannot come. Against your opposition truth cannot come. Against your opposition wealth cannot come. Against your opposition God cannot come. Against your opposition freedom cannot come. So just remember that you're going to let truth be what it is. And the Course says, if you don't know what to do in any situation, if you don't know what to do in any situation, what you should say is this: decide for me, Holy Spirit. Decide for me, Holy Spirit. Decide for me, Holy Spirit. Tell your higher power to make the decision for you. That would be a decision. And so that would help get you out of conflict, because conflict comes from not making up your mind. You got it?
Yes.
You got it?
Yes.
You got it?
Yes.
So don't forget, God's will for you is perfect happiness. You're totally juicy and cute. You deserve nothing but the best that life has to offer. That's it. So there. I love y'all. Those of you online, I love you. I love hugs. Love y'all. Thank you for checking it out online.